Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week we're talking about Billy Madison.
Yay.
Yay. That is right. Billy Madison. Not the film debut of Adam Sandler, but arguably probably his first big movie. Directed by Tamra Davis, screenwritten by Adam Sandler and Tim Hurley, produced or distributed by Universal Pictures. It was a comedy. It was PG-13 even at that time. Released February 10th, 1995. It had a budget of around $10 million, and it grossed $25 million, almost $26 million in the U.S. and Canada, and $26 million worldwide. So for a low-budget film, did okay.
Yep.
Did okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
And I mean, really, at this point, he was just coming off of SNL fame,
fired
right?
from SNL.
Yes.
Yes, but was I think that was 94, and he had been in a movie or two prior to this,
and a couple of shows.
Yeah, but this was the first one that was his ordeal, I believe.
Yes.
So, starring Adam Sandler, Darren McGavin, Bridget Wilson Sampras, Bradley Whitford, and also starring Josh Mestel as Principal Anderson, Norm Macdonald, Mark Beltzman, and Larry Hankin. Also, Teresa Merritt was Juanita. And then everyone else, kind of a side character from there. Let's see. I just want to make sure we get through all that. I never talk about who's starring in it, and then we make references to who's starring in it, so I figured we'd try to get that one out of the way.
Makes sense.
And now we transition.
Whoa. It felt like a semi-truck just drove through here.
Yeah. Now we transition into the segment we like to call, What's the Plot?
What's the plot?
Where Tristan and I give you, the audience, our own interpretation of the plot. I actually don't know if that's what we're doing, but we give you a rundown in our own words of what happens in the movie, which I guess is the plot. I always get nervous saying the plot because I feel like that's just the idea of the movie. Mm-hmm. When we really are just talking about the whole movie. Yeah. In some way, shape, or form, which is the plot.
Yeah, but it's more of a synopsis of sorts.
Yeah, but that's not, there's no...
What's the synopsis?
What's the synopsis? All right. Tristan, would you like to go first?
I suppose I can do that.
Okay, Tristan, the floor is yours.
All right. Join Adam Sandler as an obnoxious, immature, unlikable man-child who becomes the hero of his own story. Also, he plays this movie's titular character, Billy Madison, an obnoxious, immature, unlikable man-child who becomes the hero of his own story. When Billy's father rightfully doesn't want to leave his $1 million hotel empire to his 30-year-old slob of a son, Billy decides it's time to step up and earn the respect of his old man. How? By going back to school and passing all grades from 1 through 12 to prove that he isn't an idiot. Why? Because he just doesn't like the guy who's next in line to take over, Eric. Does he want the business? No. Does he need it? Also no. It's very clear he'd be set for life no matter what, and he's shown no motivation to do anything other than be lazy and drunk. Watch as women of all ages, and I mean all ages, throw themselves at this man-child for no apparent reason as he begins his journey on going back to school. And the one woman, his third grade teacher, who is put off by him, falls in love with him because he assaulted her on a school bus during a field trip and then did one decent thing for the first time in the entire movie. Anyway, as Eric plots to keep Billy from graduating, Billy must get beaten up by his girlfriend to have a hallucination of a musical number to get back on track and challenge Eric to an academic decathlon. Ultimately, Billy comes out on top and gives up the prize to become a... Wait, is this right? A teacher? Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. That makes sense. Anyway, did I mention that everybody makes out at the end? Because that happens. Anyway, that's all.
Fantastic. that first paragraph, just that joke. Oh, yeah. Unlikable man-child plays an unlikable man-child. Alrighty. Excellent.
A little bit shorter than my previous ones,
yeah.
But
I think mine is a little longer. But I also write I'm probably a script writer or even like an editor's nightmare. Because my paragraphs are I know paragraphs are ideas, but my paragraphs are sometimes just one sentence because I'm like, that's the idea.
Yep.
Moving on.
Let's keep going.
And someone would be like, you could probably connect it. No, I need to see it. It's its own idea. In Adam Sandler's first big movie, he and Tim Hurley managed to write a masterclass in absurdity and jokes that totally aged well. We follow the heir to a hotel empire, Billy, as he is face to face with the reality that he is indeed a sack of crap. Billy manages... This might be tough. Billy manages to live his life the way a poor person thinks a rich person lives. Booze, porno, and penguins fill his day while his sidekicks, Norm Macdonald and that other guy, basically just like sleep and say one-liners. No, really. Apparently Norm got so drunk one day that he actually passed out on set. Anyway, at an important dinner party with servants and a maid that is either saying slavery still exists, is just racist, or is a parody of dissident excess of wealth, Billy's dad, or as you may know him, the dad from A Christmas Story, announces his retirement and turning over the company to the big forehead guy from The West Wing. Billy is displeased with this proposal and counters with a challenge that if he can finish 1st through 12th grade in like 5 months to prove he is prepared to take over the company, that he could keep the company. Billy spends a lot of development time in the 1st grade where he reads a book that will take center stage later, beans kids with dodgeballs as hard as he can, and we're introduced to the O'Doyle joke, O'Doyle's rule. 3rd grade is where it gets interesting because we're introduced to the hot and feisty Vanessa Vaughn. Is it her eyes? Is it her figure? Is it the alliteration? Who knows? But the writers really want you to know that Billy thinks she's hot. After a field trip and a fake pant wedding accident to help a real pant wedding incident, Billy wins over Vanessa. No, really. That's it. We don't really see why she likes him, just some exposition and joke waving. We fast forward to him getting to high school and doing well and learning a valuable lesson about treating people nice after he's getting bullied. And big forehead guy uses the elementary school principal to sabotage Billy. With a successful sabotage, Billy goes on a bender, gets his ass kicked by Vanessa, sings a song, and then successfully challenges Forehead to a decathlon. Billy trains with Vanessa, the housemaid Juanita, who I still can't tell if it's satire or not, and of course, Chris Farley. Billy wins the decathlon, is saved by Steve Buscemi after Forehead takes out a gun the size of his forehead. In the end, Billy graduates, turns the company over to Crazy Carl, who is the trusted friend and employee, gets the girl, and learns the most valuable lesson of all. You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
You ain't cool unless you pee your pants. And you can take that to the bank.
Who's the person she said? Well, if it's cool to pee your pants, then consider me.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
What did she say?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember.
No. All right. We'll get to
one.
it later.
That was a good one.
Okay. I didn't give myself enough credit. That one made me laugh.
That was good.
It made me laugh because let's get into it. Mike, what did you think about the film? Man, that film did not age as well as I thought, but it's still kind of funny. It's still kind of funny. I gotta give it credit where credit is due. There are some pretty solid jokes that even in my 36-year-old brain, and I haven't seen this movie in a while, I still was laughing. Like, there were definitely moments that still had me laughing out loud, which is rough when my wife is reading next to me and I have earbuds in watching the movie on the TV and she just hears me like giggling because I'm trying not to bother her, but I'm also going.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What did you think of the film?
So this was actually my first time watching it.
Really?
I had never seen it before. I've seen other Adam Sandler movies, but this one was not one that I've actually watched.
We are currently fulfilling the heart idea of this show, this podcast, which is like someone who watches a lot of movies, and you watch a ton of movies, but watch movies that my wife originally had not seen because she didn't watch a lot of movies, and now we're watching a movie that I have seen many times and you've never seen it.
We've come full circle.
Will you marry me? Wait, no. I got to go through a process first. Never mind. So let's just stick to the movie part. Wow. You've never seen this. That's right. I guess that's not too surprising. That's not too crazy because 95, you would have been, we're not that far in age. So like, you wouldn't have been too old. You would have been under 10.
Yeah. I would have been like 5 or 6 when this movie came out.
So that isn't incredibly old. You really shouldn't be watching this movie at that age.
Not at all.
And which is crazy because I did watch this movie when it first came out. I shouldn't have. I watched this movie again and I was like, oh my gosh, there are so many jokes I should not have been. Now I understand my sense of humor. Now I understand where certain things come from that I didn't understand why, but I have them here. Anyway, your first time watching it.
Yeah. I was curious to see how you felt about it because I knew that you had watched it a lot before. So I think I'm going to be coming in with a little bit different of a perspective because I don't have that relationship with the movie. I didn't enjoy it. There were moments that I thought like, oh, I see the joke here. There are a few moments that made me laugh. And I think I laughed the most in the last 30 minutes of the movie because there's a lot of setup that they do in the rest of the movie that finally lands in that last 30 minutes. And I thought that was really great. But I don't know.
It's a hard like 50 minutes to have to trudge through of like, there are jokes, but you either have to be a certain person to think they're funny or they're dated too. Like there's a lot of dated jokes. There's a lot of jokes that didn't age well because inappropriateness of them. Right. And then a lot of exposition and setup. Like I didn't remember how much there was where you're like, oh, you have to build this story from scratch, and they spend a lot of time doing it. And then that last half an hour is just a roller coaster going downhill of like joke story. It moves along. The pacing's great. Like, it's going along. They kind of stop making a lot of the, for lack of a better term, like college humor.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of stop making those and just make jokes of the moment, like jokes
Yeah.
that are within the moment.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but like moments that were really great, especially during that decathlon section, is because they're able to just do these like really punchy jokes that last for a second and then they move on, but they just kind of build on each other, and it's really great. Where there's other things, and I think this is something of like, especially that era of, but SNL movies in general, they linger too long on things sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's SNL and SNL movies, where it's just like, okay, this sketch is just has gone too far. It's
Right.
gone too long and it's no longer funny. And sometimes it comes back around and it's hilarious, and then sometimes it just falls flat. So I felt like that existed in this, where it was very obvious that this was a group of people coming off of a history of doing sketch comedy, and
Right.
then they're like, what if we make a movie? So
Yeah.
I enjoyed moments of it, but I also feel like if you've watched one Adam Sandler movie, you've basically seen all of them from that era of Adam Sandler movies.
Yes. And I would argue they do get better,
Right.
in that they are funnier,
Yeah.
less of that like college male humor. And then we'll talk about that, because I do think there's something interesting about it, but there is a lot of that. This is one of his worst, but it is his first, so like it has that like vibe to it. But yeah, like it's not by any means his best like movie, because it's not the funniest. It's not, the story isn't particularly great.
Mhm.
Pacing, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Like,
It kind of feels like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the most enjoyable part about it for me was the nostalgia, and then about that last half an hour.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel like just talking about his filmography, it definitely felt like he did this movie and he's like, okay, let's do that again but better. And like he just did that for a couple of movies with a slightly different skin on it, but
Right.
it's all the same, like weird character who's a man child and then has to turn it around in the end kind of thing. And I feel like that's a lot of his earlier movies. He changed it up later on.
Right.
But so I guess that's my initial thoughts on this one.
Yeah. No, that's solid. I'm not angry at that at all. We were kind of already getting into it, but what did you like best about the film?
Yeah, I didn't have, honestly, as many notes about what I liked as what I don't like about this film, but I really enjoyed moments of like when he is I think it's when he's in first grade and the kids are talking about their favorite video game.
Yeah.
And they're
Mortal
like,
Kombat is the best video game ever.
And then he very cordially is like, well, I disagree. I think Donkey Kong is the best game. And then
Donkey Kong sucks.
And then that just ends with him yelling, "You suck."
Yeah.
Like, it's great that he tries to have this like very adult conversation with this kid, and then it ends with him just screaming in his face.
Yeah.
The O'Doyle rules, that I was appreciating just the like the generations, like the or not generations, but the older brothers showing up and being like, "Oh, that's funny," and then the way that it ends was like so unexpected.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the last 30 minutes of this movie, I think, are really the highlight of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what's been building up gets to be at its best during that time, and there's like Steve Buscemi, like I think that probably, it wasn't my hardest laugh, but it definitely was just like I laughed out loud and I was like, oh, where did that come from? So yeah.
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 His little wave.
Yeah, his wave, and then just, oh, I'm glad I
called that guy.
Yeah.
What I liked about it, I honestly love how quotable it is. It really is a quotable movie. It has a lot of great quotes in it.
There are quotes from this movie that I had heard, and I don't think I realized were from this movie. I knew they were Adam Sandler quotes, but not Billy Madison quote.
Yeah. Miles Davis is the cool person.
Oh, yeah.
Consider me Miles Davis. Oh, my gosh. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Sloppy Joe. You're scaring us, lady. There, I will say, this is a movie, a comedy that the method of comedy is absurdity.
Mm-hmm.
What caught me off guard is it's absurd, but there are a lot of really dark moments, really dark jokes, really dark like little points where I was just like, oh, I don't remember that. Which I liked, and I like dark comedy, but I just didn't remember it. I guess maybe I never noticed it. It's very quotable. Chris Farley is the actors are really fun. Like the actors are really fun. Norm is weird and ridiculous and absurd. The other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
The other guy, the other friend that I marked in the thing as Mark Beltzman. He was there. I didn't really think he was that funny.
The scene where they're having the like graduation party after whatever age or whatever grade, and he's just sitting there spraying the kid with the hose. Yeah. And the kid's like, no. And he's like, you okay, man? And
he's like, you, sir? Yeah, I don't even know you. Yeah, that one. You okay, man? Yeah. Yeah, I really liked a lot of the actors. Josh Mostel was like perfect. He was so weird and so awkward, and he was the principal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyway, like the acting, even like the whole movie is Billy Madison had like overdosed and he's just having a giant hallucination, right? Like like that's what the whole movie is. Anyway, that's all I really liked. But I have a lot of problems with the movie as well, but since you are fresh-eyed and fresh to the story, what are some things you didn't like?
Yeah. Let me pull up my my notes here.
It's just like a scroll, like
a
that really looks good on video, but made no sense probably audio.
I know. You said scroll. I think people got it.
Yeah, they got it.
Unfurling this unfurling, unrolling this
doing
scroll.
A little Foley work, Yeah.
Okay. So just going from my points here. The maid, Juanita, like there's a lot there.
There's a lot to unpack there.
But the fact that like the first thing that she says, and this kind of goes into what I had in my my plot summary thing, was like the first thing that she says to him is, "Oh, he's a fine piece of work and a fine piece of ass." And it's like, lady, where's this coming? Like, what? Why? And like Adam Sandler is not like, he's not a super handsome dude.
He's not conventionally attractive. Let's just put it like that.
And so for this movie to be like, he wrote his character to have all these women being like, ooh, I don't know, that bothered me. And that was like the very first thing. And then just her character overall was like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um, the character of Billy Madison doesn't make sense. Like, having seen clips of it, having seen the trailer and blah blah blah, like, I thought that his character talked with a lisp the whole time.
Oh, right.
Like, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, so the inconsistency of like, is that just his drunk voice, or is like, is this? I don't know who he is as a character, and like,
Yeah.
at one point he's like doing this really crazy thing, and then at the next he's just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think they did a good job of showing that he was like uneducated.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were moments, I mean, the spelling bee, like how to spell rock, like that was the only moment that we really see of him being like, I know how to spell R-O-K, and it's like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job making him seem just like really immature
Yeah.
in his actions, but I don't know,
It also seems as though if we were to analyze it, he just seems like a guy with like a learning disability, but they're making that the joke,
that's the joke. Yeah.
which then it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not funny because he's kind of a odd character or a ding dong or something. They're like, oh, look at this guy,
Yeah.
trouble learning, educating himself and such. Ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
And his motivation to do any of it
Sucks.
it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. Like, literally his reasoning is because he hates Eric, and
Yeah.
the only reason why we know that he hates Eric up to this point is because like Eric has antagonized him.
Yeah.
Now, was he rightfully, like, was Eric actually a bad guy?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, to the point of being a cartoon villain. Yes. But like, he didn't know that. He just knew him as a guy who made faces at him,
Right.
or like made comments about his actions. And that seemed like really weird motivation for him to care all of a sudden. To the point that he doesn't really want the company, and he's still gonna have money. He's still gonna be able to do all this stuff, and he's just like, no, I can't stand for this. Like that
Right.
was weird. Also, side note before I forget to talk about it, I thought it was really funny that they had a Triscuit ad read in the first 6 minutes of the movie, of just like, Triscuit crackers are delicious. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You didn't save me any of those delicious Triscuit
Yeah.
crackers.
What else do we have here? The jokes about the principal early on, those were just like, it was sad.
Yeah.
Like, the class is laughing, but it's just sad to have him reading that note and be like,
Right.
oh, that's rough. And I think they intended this to be funny, but it just feels sad.
Yeah, that's one of those dark moments where they know they're telling a dark joke because you have to stop and think, these are third graders.
Right.
These are children, like
Mhm.
children.
That are saying that, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one of those things. For whatever, I knew that he read the note, but I didn't remember what the note said. So when it read, I was like, wow, that's
yeah,
dark.
yeah. He does one nice thing. Billy does one nice thing, and that somehow wins over Veronica. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is like,
Well, yeah. If I may, and I still don't like it. There's exposition prior to that moment where he says, you know, I've been doing really good, like I've been really trying, and she agrees with him. So we're supposed to understand, like, there's apparently been a week or something that he's been on good behavior, doing really well, etc., etc., like actively trying to win her over, but we don't see it. So maybe there was a deleted scene or something that like explains that better, because we're supposed to infer that from the bus ride. You're right. He sexually assaults her on the bus
and acknowledges it.
And we're it's that weird conundrum of the actress who plays Vanessa plays that strong person really well.
Mm-hmm.
She's very confident in herself. She's very strong. You know, she doesn't really take any guff or anything like that. But she almost treats what he's doing as like playful and like a reasonable response to a bad attempt at like hitting on her.
Yeah, she like kind of laughs it off and says,
right. She laughs it off and then says like, it's not the first time someone's tried to touch my chest or something like that. And it's like, no, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not empowering to women. That's clearly a guy writing that. But then also like the context of the bus, they are ignoring the fact that they're third graders.
Yeah.
We cannot escape that. I teach elementary school kids. I don't teach third graders because they're too young.
Yeah.
They're too young. That is, what is that, 8?
Mm-hmm.
That is not the age where any of that kind of stuff should be around. That just feels like a weird thing for them to have done, to choose third grade. I guess they were like, well, we want this to happen, but we can't wait until like high school or middle school.
Yeah, I want to introduce that character.
Middle school 13-year-olds doing that would be too awkward. So let's get 8-year-olds on board.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think she says a line about like during that conversation, she said something about like, oh, we're trying not to treat you any different than we would these other students. But you're flirting with him. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And I think it really needed to have a scene, because I think we go from him like causing disruption in class, having his desk mate call her and be like, "Hey, are you dating anybody?" And then it just comes to the bus, and that scene happens. We needed a scene where we see her coming around to him.
Well, yeah, because the timeline doesn't work, because we have his first day. The first day, does she pull him by the ear? She rips his ear out. And then are we to assume the next day is when they have a substitute? So we already have less time that they can connect.
Yep. And she was out for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I think.
And then we had like maybe a Friday and a Monday. And we assume that based on what their words, that the field trip is close to the end of his time with that. Unless he did we are missing so much context. Something had to have happened, and we don't have it. Like, it's just not there.
Yeah, and it just felt like a gross way to write this love interest, and it was definitely just dudes in a room writing the script, and we're like, let's do this.
It's so annoying because Vanessa could have been a really good, strong character.
Mm-hmm.
That is the opposite of Billy, to cause, I guess, what they were hoping it would be, to cause tension and to do all that, but they drop the ball, and she then becomes just a essentially a prop for Billy throughout the thing. Like, she doesn't have her own motivation, whatever it might be. Even clearly she sees the issue with him being in the classroom from the get-go, and as an audience member, I would hope you agree with her. You're like, yes, she's right. Like, if you were a teacher in the same situation, you would look at this situation and go, no, this is dumb, this is wrong,
right,
we need to get this guy out of here. And then, without real explanation, just some quick exposition and, like we said, a good deed, that all disappears. And then from there, we just have this weird, they're dating, they're not dating. She tries to motivate him. She subtly knows, like, who he is, and, you know, Bill, you wouldn't give up kind of thing. Like, how would you know that? How long has this been? Like, where are we getting this? We haven't seen you guys interact outside of school. When he goes to see her, he sees her at school. Like, we needed to see them do something outside of school. Yeah, it may not have been filled with, like, funny fart jokes or what, and it could have been, who knows? But there was nothing there, so we're just like, what? How did this happen?
Yeah, the one time we see them interacting outside of school that's not at the mansion is when he is drunk and goes to her house, and it's like, hey, let's hang out, and she's like, how about you just stay here? And he's like, no. And like, that's it. Yeah. And then she comes and beats him up the next day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ending where he, like, grabs her butt publicly, which is like, but their little kiss where he does his little lip thing and then she bites back. There's like this playfulness, and it's like, cool, that's cute, that's great. How did it come to that?
Yeah,
you need to give us something. Their relationship up to this point does not give us the idea that is how they are. We have no clue. That would be so cute if we knew how it built up.
Yeah, they could have created this really great contrast. I mean, I don't know why this movie's coming to mind right now, but I think it's because it has some similarities in the story. But like Tommy Boy, there's the guy who's immature, and then there's the straight man who's like, hey, we got to do this.
Yeah,
and that contrast, that dichotomy between those two characters, they make each other better. Right. And that they miss that in this, where she could have been the like, hey, I see in you that you can be better than you are. And he wanting to be better because of her. Like, there could have been this relationship that really worked and it was really dynamic, and instead it was just like, she doesn't like him, and then all of a sudden she does like him, and now she's just there to be boobs and butt.
Yeah. I think I just figured it out. I think they were trying to stuff too many characters into the story, because every time he moved along, so when he was at elementary, he had the group of children who he was like friends with, and they hung out like friends do. Weird.
Yep.
I wouldn't have approved that as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, he has the same thing. He has the two dweebs who he hangs out with. I did finger quotes there for the listening viewers. And he hung out with them, which is super weird. That would have been the time where he should have been hanging out with her and building that relationship for us to see.
Yeah.
I know we're on a rant about this, but I do think that is one of the biggest flaws of the story, because we're supposed to believe she's a really strong character, but we get that, and then it disappears, and then she's still acting that way. As an actress, she's still acting in the way of that confidence and what it is, and then pushing against Billy, but we have no reason to understand why, one, she would care, 2, why he would listen. 3, why there would be anything more than he's a nuisance and, you know, whatever from that point. It is, that is the worst part about that's not the worst part about the movie, but it is a striking part about the movie that I guess it's the worst part in that we're supposed to be cheering for this thing. This is the thing we're supposed to be like, you know, love, and then when we get the payoff, it's like, nah.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. I think that's a thing, especially in early Adam Sandler movies, that happened a lot. And because I think also Happy Gilmore had a very similar type of thing where there was this strong woman who was like not into the character at all, and then at some point there's just this change where she's like, okay, I'm into you now.
You know what though? I would almost say in Happy Gilmore there's more development.
Yeah, true. Again, they get better.
Yeah.
He gets better at writing these things, but it's still the same idea. Last thing to move on from this relationship thing, the last thing is, this is from an era of movies, so I don't think it's just a flaw in this movie, but it is a flaw in this movie, is that the main character is so unlikable as just like a person. Like they're not a great person. And then the villain, in order to make them a villain, has to be so outlandishly like cartoony villain.
Right.
To make us be like, okay, I'll root for the guy who's actually the worst.
Who's also a monster. Yeah. We're just rooting for... Is this Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah.
I said Godzilla really weird there. I'm sober, but I sound like I'm not. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, you said that and I suddenly had the idea of like, it's The Mask without the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have that character who has like cartoonish moments. He has a musical number where people magically appear. A clown is resurrected from the dead. You know, there's special effects and different things like that. The penguin, there's things that happen to him that clearly the world sees but kind of ignores.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad guy is, cartoonish, like very cartoonish, which is kind of the opposite of The Mask, where like the good guy was so cartoonish and the bad guys were just like mob members. They were just the mob. They were very like straight, and even when he put the mask on, he didn't really become cartoonish. He just became more evil.
Right.
But they do make Eric really... I enjoyed Eric because he was so bad.
Yeah.
Like when they made him throw the remote, they made him throw it with his like not his opposite hand.
Oh yeah.
And then just the cuts. Sorry, I'm laughing about the joke of the cut scene. He's like, all of this happened to Billy, and Eric's secretary's in a coma.
Yeah.
Like, there were good jokes. It's just some of the stuff. The whole first 10 minutes of the movie could have been so different and still would have worked. Like, the story could have worked still. Everything with the porn magazine jokes weren't very funny. They were just... They were pulling jokes because it was like, this is looked down upon in our society, so, you know, funny. Yeah. But in reality, it's like, you're making the joke at the expense of someone who's not even really there.
Right.
And then everything that happens at that dinner makes no sense to me.
Yeah. It's
at
so
all.
Weird. Yeah.
The fact that these are high, I guess, executive level people at the company coming to their dinner, and they all wait for Billy,
Right.
To the point where people miss their flights.
Yeah.
And Billy acts the way he does. And just the anger from the dad is all we really get from it. Like, no one else is going like,
Yeah.
this dude's crazy. And then they have the gall to call Carl crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that, like, the first 10 minutes, just do away with. Like, you could cut it, burn it, couldn't care less. Some of the stuff in the school was funny, but let me see how I want to phrase this. So, on this podcast, we've said several times, at least I've said, from my belief in comedy is, for a joke to work, you need a straight man. You need someone who sees the joke and goes, no, that's wrong. For something that's offensive. You know, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, all the characters are, you know, or not all the characters, but they're racist. They're dumb. They're, you know, they do horrible things all the time. But what makes it funny as a joke is you as an audience, and within the universe, people go, that's wrong. And they're wrong for it. They're bad people for that.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, there were so many points where there needed to be a straight man of understanding of, like, this man, this full-grown 28, he's 28, by the way, 28-year-old man just said the F word in front of a bunch of first graders.
But they were sleeping.
And then the teacher goes, well, time for recess, or time for dodgeball.
Yeah.
And that's not how a straight man works within the confines of the joke. To me, I don't think. We need something where she's kind of like, that was a little much. How about we move on from the situation and go on to, she just kind of like, blank, next joke.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
There were so many points in this movie that needed someone to be like, that's dumb, or that's wrong. And Vanessa was that for, I don't know, 3 minutes.
Yeah. 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 I was expecting it so many times, especially like you said, after reading the book in the first grade, I expected the teacher to have a moment of like, hey, we don't talk like that in this classroom or something. But they so much wanted her to also be this crazy lady that they just moved past it.
Right.
So, like, I don't have a problem with the joke of him, like, cussing in front of the kids.
It could have been funny.
Yeah.
It just feels like a wasted F word. Like, you make a PG-13, you're really limited by how many you can use. It feels wasted without having that response.
Right.
Yeah. So the lack there of a straight man in the to the point where characters switch, that they get out of their character to be the straight man for someone else's joke. For example, we have, up until the point of the field trip, Billy being like objectifying this woman, drawing her in his book, going, oh, I love her,
Yeah.
you know, doing all the sex sounds and like being really atrocious around third graders. And he's that person, and Vanessa responds to it negatively, and we're like, good, there's a straight man right there, good.
Yep.
Joke works, blah, 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 blah. And then Billy does good deed. Billy now, good guy. Oh, hello.
Balloons.
How did I do that? How did I do that?
It's just doing
So, audience members, we're using, I don't know, the meat thing, and I just did something, and balloons came up. So, congratulations.
Yay.
This is balloons. Anyway, wow. Squirrel. Anyway, so good deed. He does the good deed. And then they're going back to the bus, and the bus driver, Chris Farley's character, stops Billy to look up Vanessa's skirt. Gross.
Yep.
Real gross. But Billy doesn't go like, oh yeah, I would totally do that too, which would feel like very much in his character.
Right.
His face switches to disgust.
Right.
He's disgusted by it. Maybe it's that territorial thing of like, that's my gal. But I think it's like, oh, I can't believe this dude's doing that. Gross.
Right.
That doesn't work. You can't do that. You can't take a character who has shown no consideration for anyone, let alone women. Or, I always say that wrong. For women, let alone anyone. And then expect us to take a moment when someone does the exact same thing he's been doing, and then he is the straight man who is appalled by it, who's like,
yeah,
no, that's what a straight man is
character.
supposed to do in the joke. You can't be that. You've given us nothing to make us think that you were that character. So, just bad planning on that part. Let's see.
Yeah, that, if you just take that interaction without knowing anything about how Billy has acted at any other point, with Chris Farley's character being like, oh, like, I have a friend who's been with her. It's like, no, you don't. He's like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's funny because you have the person calling out the other person's BS.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense for Billy's character to be that person when he hasn't shown, other than this scene alone, where he peeing your pants is cool and like doing all of that, where all of a sudden he becomes like this white knight of a character. But then he just goes back. He doesn't stay that way.
Right.
There's no transition into this better person. It's just
well, that's funny because you have the however many days of junior high or however they did it. So that would have been
He
6
does,
weeks. And then when he goes to high school, he reverts to trying to be popular again, showing that he has learned nothing.
Right.
And also, he has the arm of a beautiful, mature woman who is an established teacher who is strong and like clearly what we're supposed to believe is like the good counterpart to him, but he's trying to impress high school kids and high school like girls, I guess. Like, we don't understand his priority. Like, we don't at all. Yeah. That part really threw me off with the car and everything, but then like he wasn't like hitting on high school girls, but he was trying to be cool toward them.
Yeah.
And it was immediately like, why are you doing that? You're set. You're good to go, bro. Like, you don't need to do that. Right. But you didn't learn anything. You're clearly still kind of a piece of crap. So you're going to keep being a piece of crap, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
For the story.
You think that after doing however many weeks of the grades up until high school, right, I guess 16 weeks of doing school, that he'd be like more serious about being in school, and he's just like goofing off,
right,
and
doing the popularity game.
Yeah.
Also, I really had a moment where you did 16 weeks, and I was like, how did he do the math? And then I was like, 8 times 2. That's right.
I went to high school.
I wore an REO Speedwagon shirt to high school. That was cool.
I realized I was struggling with this movie in the sense of like I know how to um uh oh, I just totally forgot the term. Oh my gosh. My disbelief to
Suspend your disbelief.
suspend my disbelief. There we go. I was like expand. Suspend my disbelief. I know what I'm talking about here.
Hey.
I know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also there's this level of, because I have gone through film classes and stuff, um I I have a struggle of being like, am I watching this just for the enjoyment of watching it, or am I watching it for like to analyze it and to review it and everything?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're coming into this kind of thing, it's like, yeah, I do want to tear it apart a little bit to look at what the substance of this movie is. Um but I also like, I can enjoy a movie like this where it
Yeah.
is outlandish, where where the humor is just like stupid.
Yeah, where the methodology is absurdity. Like
Yeah.
it's possible to enjoy that. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I enjoy absurd movies. But I think like even in that, as I was watching it, is like, am I just not enjoying this, or am I just being too analytical of it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like we said, I there are moments that I enjoyed in it, and it's not, I don't hate this movie at all.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not something that I would seek out to watch again.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
if I was hanging out with you and you threw it on, I was like, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I would seek it out. I wouldn't watch it with my wife. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a movie. Like, she came home and I was like, you're not gonna like this one. She's like, okay. And we just kind of moved on from there. But so yeah, I think like I want to, as we're doing these and
Mm-hmm.
in the previous movies that we've watched together, like I want to make sure that I'm getting this good balance of providing the suspension of disbelief for whatever world we're in
Yeah.
for this movie. But I do also want to try to find what is good and what is not good in these movies. And I think because we're watching movies from the 90s, we're getting a lot of the like, oh, okay, 30 years later, things are different.
Yeah.
They don't age as well.
Right.
And so yeah, I think this is one where it's an early on movie for Adam Sandler. It's from a specific time in history where that kind of humor was more popular, was more prevalent.
Right.
But it definitely hasn't aged as well. And yeah, the story could be better.
Yeah. I think
it could be absurd,
right.
but it could be better.
I think Billy Madison as a character is not just immature, but Adam Sandler in his own writing ability was immature. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that. I do think Billy is written from the perspective of a poor person. Like, Adam Sandler grew up in a very, like, lower middle class home, as far as I understand it, working class family. And, like, as this movie's going on, Billy is what, like, if I were to imagine what is the most ridiculous situation of a rich person's life,
Right.
Billy Madison would feel like that extreme. And it feels like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make wealth absurd.
Right.
But I think what you said was an interesting point, and I'd almost want to back you up on it. And I think when a movie is made for the genuine enjoyment of the audience, there is a inherent contract in that the writer, the producers, the director, the actors They're not saying you need to suspend your belief no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
The contract is, if you suspend your belief, we will try to paint this picture of a movie, of characters, of a world, whatever it might be, that makes enough sense, that the jokes are good, that the visuals are good, that you are allowed to suspend your belief.
Right.
This movie fails to fulfill that contract.
Right.
It is absurd. It is not always funny. Absurd can be funny, and we can suspend our disbelief for absurdity. But their end of the contract is it actually has to be funny.
Right.
What they're doing is they are taking the absurdity of what like a junior high or a high school boy would find funny and putting that in place of an actual developed joke.
Mm-hmm.
The last 30 minutes has developed jokes.
Yeah, they have a setup and they have a punchline.
Yes, and there's straight man characters, there's lots of setup, lots of payoff, and it's good. Some of the setup is done way in advance. The first setup is the banana peel at the field trip.
Right.
Because you keep going back to it. There's a build in tension. There's like, why do they keep going back to the banana peel? And then the outcome of the O'Doyle's is because of that banana peel setup. Oh, what is it? Shot chaser. There it is.
Yeah.
You know, that happens a lot when he gives his answer of the dog, and it's clear that he's like talking a while. So there's several layers to the joke. One, there's a time limit. So there's an expectation of succinctness, of continuity with an idea, cohesiveness, et cetera, et cetera. By the time cutting through, you clearly get that doesn't happen.
Right.
There's the joke one. There's one joke. Two, he's speaking absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
And then three, you have the payoff of the I guess the high school principal saying like, everyone is dumber for hearing you, and may God have mercy on your soul. That is a good payoff. That is such a good payoff, because we just went through this whole thing of like, he's a dumb guy, and then that was like, yes, he's very dumb.
Yeah.
He's very dumb.
But like setting it up with like kind of the inspirational, like, oh, he's going to make it work. He's going to do it. He said absolutely nothing.
Exactly. And that's great. That is excellent. That doesn't happen the first half an hour of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem is it takes too long to get to a point where the jokes are actually jokes.
Right.
And the absurdity is there. Like Steve Buscemi coming in. Well, Eric pulling a gun out, first and foremost, is absurd.
Right.
That's it. That's such an insane, for someone who is apparently about to take over this company, and by his own idea and by the dad, Brian Madison's own, what we have seen in the movie, Eric does seem like a viable option.
Right.
And then pulls out a gun, and you're just like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
And then two, it's giant. Like, it's a huge gun.
Huge.
It's such a big gun. And then for Steve Buscemi to be the one to come out and shoot him in the butt with a sniper rifle,
right,
and then wave, that is very absurd.
Yeah.
But the payoff is, man, I'm glad I called that guy. Like, that is the payoff of a setup and a great joke. Good.
Right.
A plus. A plus to that.
Yeah.
No A plus on, the penguin. Who gives a crap about the penguin? The penguin is stupid. That is not a good joke. The old man with the poop bag, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna admit it. It's kind of funny. They make him so unlikable for being the victim of this crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just there is an inherent contract within movie makers and the audience member that for us to suspend our disbelief, you got to give us something good.
Right.
Christopher Nolan, for the most part, does a great job in succeeding that. When you watch his movies, you have to suspend a ton of disbelief. You have to suspend a lot because some of his movies go into really ethereal places, very heady, cognitive kind of ideas. So you have to suspend a lot. He's pretty successful. So we can't just go and be like, it's impossible. It's possible. This contract is possible. This contract is something we can accomplish.
Yep.
And it just feels like the first half an hour, 40 minutes, they have no clue on how to accomplish that. It's almost like they wrote the end of the movie first.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was I was thinking that as well. Like, they had this really great moment of like, hey, what if there's this decathlon between these two people?
Yeah.
And then that was like, that's great. How do we get to this moment? And then they just kind of stumbled their way to that moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because the jokes and there's gags. Gags are still a part of it. Gags are funny. The shoe. I mean, the shoe in the science. So he's doing a science fair thing. Eric is successful, I think. But then Billy pulls out a shoe out of his experiment, and it's just his shoe. But the teacher, the Borophyll guy, is like clapping and is like so excited about it. It's like, okay, Robert Smigel, let's calm down. Let's Triumph the Insult Puppet is teaching science now. I forgot to put him in the plot. He needed to be in there, and I missed it. Would have been good. Yeah. For me to poop on. All right, sorry. If you don't know, you can look it up. I promise you, for the most part, audience members, you will not appreciate the humor.
You've been warned.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I really like the moment where they're doing the music part of the decathlon and he plays this beautiful violin piece and then he just blows into the clarinet and stops. He's like, he's really good.
That's the part I hate. This movie does really good jokes. That's a really good joke. Like, he nails the violin part. Billy clearly has no clue what he's doing, but is willing to be like, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or when Eric's doing the math problem, and then Billy is like writing something, and you're like, oh, maybe he knows what the problem is, and then it's just Eric drinks his own pee.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, it's so annoying that there is a lot of funny in this, but it's objectively a bad movie. Mm-hmm. Like, it has bad things in it. It has things that we shouldn't share, shouldn't be proud of, shouldn't be happy about. Yeah. But there's also a lot of really funny stuff in it. Anyway, in all this chaos, who is your favorite character?
I think it may be the old lady at the field trip.
Miles Davis? You mean Miles Davis?
Miles Davis. I think I don't know why, really. I think because the first time you see her, and this kind of goes into like some of the quotes that stood out to me, is the first time you see her, she's just leading the group, and she's like, "What is a horseshoe?
Yeah.
What does a horseshoe do? Are there horse socks? Is anybody listening to me?" And just like,
what do they call it when they go back and do voiceover for bits?
ADR.
ADR. I wondered if that was ADR or if she like was saying that live, because they're outside. Sound is hard to do outside, but it was delivered so well. Like,
yeah, it was so good, and
is anyone listening to me?
It's a little bit soft because it's not what we're supposed to be paying attention to, but it's just like this passing moment.
Yeah.
And then like her comment about the lunches being stolen by that damn Sasquatch. It's so good.
I'll tell you who stole them. It's that damn Sasquatch. There's a little bit of me of like, okay, what are we laughing at? Are we laughing at that this lady is like a conspiracy theorist, or are we laughing because her brain don't work no more? And that's probably not funny, but
No.
I'm really hoping it's just she shouldn't be working, poor gal.
No.
But she's doing the best she can, and God bless her. Like,
It's-
I don't know how to feel about it.
It's that thing where it's the absurdity of an old person saying the most ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really what it was. I didn't
Yeah.
get the sense that they were trying to make her seem
right.
like out of her mind, but like also like, hey, it's an old person saying something real weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And admittedly, Chris Farley with his sideburns and everything, like, I could see why she would call him a Sasquatch.
I'm biased. I think I just like Norm Macdonald. Like, I don't think anything he did was, maybe I don't remember. If he did something offensive, then never mind. But I don't think he did. I don't think he was one of the characters to do any of those things. He was such a baby. Like, he was so thin. He was so young.
Yeah.
But he was still Norm Macdonald. Like,
Yeah. He wasn't playing a character. He was
but
just
it was
him. Yeah.
I think what made him so good is this movie really is, the crux of it is the absurdity. And he's kind of just a really absurd person.
Yeah.
And so he fits so well. And everything he says is very... what day is it? October? All right.
Yeah. Or the when he like is saying something by the pool to Billy who's not there, and he's like, "Where's Billy?" He's at school. Oh yeah.
He plays that so well, which means he wasn't acting. He was just being him. Yeah. And like I said, he did apparently get very drunk and fall asleep many times. So good for him.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I know we've quoted a bunch, but are there any more quotes that you have lined up for us?
I think I hit, or we have hit most of the ones.
Okay.
That really stood out. Did you have any that we haven't talked about?
Man, I feel like I got a bunch. When Eric is talking to his spy, the janitor, and he's like, "You got anything else for me?" And he's like, "Billy likes to drink soda. Yeah. Miss Libby's car is green." Like, I don't know why that line blew me up. I was laughing so hard. I will tell a story that connects to this movie. All right. So I was in college. I was in a liberal arts math, which the name, which is funny because I am a huge proponent of a liberal arts degree and a liberal arts education, but it's a dumb name. So liberal arts.
The class was called
liberal arts math. Yes.
Nice.
The entire class was just word problems, and from my understanding of the class and my recollection, you could answer it in any method you wanted. You just had to show your work and you would get an A. My brain is wired weird, so like I see the question and then my brain goes to answer, and there's no that middle area gets real blurry. So showing my work was always tough. Anyway, that's beside the point. I digress. I was in class, and the person I was sitting next to, we had become chums due to our appreciation of Billy Madison. We both enjoyed it. And so throughout the class, he and I would whisper Billy Madison references as we were going along. And then throughout the class, she would make people read questions and read the word prompts, and it was my turn. And I think, personally, I read well out loud. That moment, I don't know, struggled a little. And so I tripped over a word or two, and then from my left ear, I hear, today, Junior. And I lose it. I am bright red, tears, laughing. I cannot get a word in. And then this college professor goes on to make me read the rest of the prompt while I am like dying of laughter, and I still have like a paragraph left. So I'm going, and then the boy went to the place. It was 10 miles. The whole, for like 2 minutes. 2 minutes of that. Everyone was mad at me. I'm like, move on from me. I am paying for this education. Move on.
Have somebody who's not like losing it right now.
It's not junior high. Like, it's not high school. It's college. We don't have to do that. We don't have to. That's not a thing. That's not going to accomplish any. Anyway. So that was, that was rough. But today, Junior, because Vanessa then pulls him out and goes, you making fun of a third grader trying to read? Do you have no soul? Thank you. That is, right. That's what makes it funny. Because he did this terrible thing, and we go, that is terrible, but kind of funny in the moment. But we all know, we all understand.
Yeah.
I burped. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh.
It's a bad thing. Yeah, there's tons of one-liners within this movie that are very funny. O'Doyle rules, like that joke, the more it happens, the funnier it gets. The high school O'Doyle, that casting, that guy looked 40, but whatever.
Yeah.
There weren't really, like, in the beginning, the things that people feel are quotable aren't really too. The most quotable things in the beginning are the things that are that there's a straight man in it. So, like, you mentioned it, your first grade spelling bee. No, you didn't. Rock. R-O-K. Yeah, what's your point? Like, that's solid. That's good. That's funny.
Oh, the C is silent.
Like, that's a great line.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, my buddies and I used to quote, whenever someone would get something right, we would be like, that is correct. Chris Farley, Chris Farley at the end of the movie sucking on the face of the penguin. It's good stuff. Great. It's not really a quote.
Up so many questions of, is Chris Farley part of the hallucination?
That's why I think it's all like an overdose dream. Like, it's just he's in a coma due to some kind of drug related thing, and this is all just happening in his head because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The musical part is just out of control with the clown coming back. And then if it's not a dream, they left that clown out there for like 6 weeks and he wasn't dead.
Nope.
But he didn't, like, his body was okay. He survived off nothing for 6 weeks. I don't know. That good joke, but I guess, or not. Maybe not a good joke. I don't know. Anyway, now it's time for the review rewind after we just spent so long talking about. Man, this show has suddenly turned into the thing of like, let's watch some movies from my childhood that I loved, and then getting to the end and going like, oh God, no, we can never watch that movie again. This is like, I would never show this to my kids. Like, I would never go like, look at this funny thing. This is funny.
Yeah.
No, it's just, I feel like, I don't know, your parents might not be old enough to make this reference. I was adopted by my dad. He was born in the 1920s. He watched old westerns and stuff like that. So a lot of the movies, he was like, oh, I love this movie. I love this movie. And you watch this movie, you're like, this is a bunch of racist friggin' white guys. Like, these people are making a mockery of Native Americans. Wow, these people really hate Mexicans. What is the point of this movie? Like, what are we watching? He never had a moment where he's like, I'm not going to show that to my kid. I feel like we're one of those first generations where we're fine. And I'm sure there were some Gen Xers who probably did it, but like, I feel like we're the first generation that is really starting to look at the media of the past, of our childhood, of whatever it might be, and starting to go like,
yeah, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was.
And I feel like this isn't like being a prude of, I'm not going to hide explicit material from my children. When they turn the right age where they feel like they can understand that, we're going to walk together in it, and so that they understand where their bodies, whatever it might be, their brains are in respect to whatever's happening in the movie. Explicit material is not the problem. When a movie is going out of its way to like hurt a people group or whatever it might be,
right,
out of just trying to make a joke or something, that's where I'm like, no, we don't ever need to do that. That's not a thing we ever need to do. In the same way of like,
yeah, it's the idea of, is it glorifying the thing, or is it saying like, this is a bad thing?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, back to it. Now we transition.
We'll get there.
Now it's time for the review rewind. And I should have that, like, I should have a track that has me reading it backwards and then it rewinds and then it goes forward. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
This is an off-air meeting. Now it's time for the review rewind, where we take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where it falls. And you know what? This is the first time that it is critically panned, and I don't disagree. So we've got a 40. Well, let me reset. Rotten Tomatoes has critic review at 40%, but it does have audience review at 79%. Most of them are college men. Metacritic has it at a 16, but it's only based off 13 critic reviews, so I don't know where they used their critic area where they pulled from, but it also has a 3.9 for user scores, so they mark it as generally unfavored. And then IMDb has it at a 6.3 for they just use meta scores, so 6.3 from users. So for the most part, it seems like it's kind of an unliked movie. So, Tristan, why don't you go ahead and read the positive review? And mind you, this is the most positive one I could find. I did not find one better than that.
So this is, the positive review is a 40 from Variety. There are a few bursts of sheer irresistible idiocy along the lines of Wayne's World or even Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but not enough to sustain the arid stretches. The more arid stretches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I think so right now we're going through the 90s. If we do another decade stretch, maybe we'll do the 80s, and I think Pee-wee would be on that because I really want to watch it again and understand if it is really like a cult classic or if I'm just remembering good nostalgia. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't have enough to sustain. That's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yep.
Time magazine gives it a 0. One of the most execrable. Hold on.
How do you?
Hold on.
I've been looking at this word.
Hold on. Don't talk.
Okay.
Execrable.
That way.
Execrable.
Execrable. One of the most execrable movies ever made. It means extremely bad and unpleasant.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I wouldn't say ever made. We could say this is no, never mind. I was gonna say this is one of the most unpleasant Adam Sandler movies, but he did make that Ridiculous 6 movie, which that is, man, if you want a world-class piece of crap that you could like put on a shelf and go, that everyone should hate that's that movie. That was a big swing and a miss for that guy. Anyway, yeah, 0. It's pretty bad. I'm just it's a D- to the max. Like there's good jokes, terrible. Like if I could give it an F+, I'd give it an F+. But that's not a thing. Like this is right at 60, maybe 59.9, like it, on the cusp. It sucks. Yeah, I don't ever want to see it again.
This is 2 for 2 of movies
2
that
for
were
2.
like, oh no. Yeah, I agree. That's the score I gave it as well. As the D-.
Yeah.
Like
I give it some credit because like there are funny jokes. The last half an hour gives it all of that like quote unquote passing grade, but everything else just drags it to the ground.
Yeah, it's not a complete failure, but it's
if this was
just getting by.
If this was an essay, most of the movie would be me like rolling my eyes like with a red pen, just like jeez. Oh no.
Yeah.
You spelled the wrong. Come on.
Yeah. You spelled rock wrong.
That would have been the joke. That's the payoff. That's how jokes works. Jokes work.
Jokes works.
I know. I'm bad at plurals.
It's all right.
English is a second language for me.
We've been talking for a long time.
We have. I used to have a lisp, but now I don't. My mom scared it out of me. Anyway. Yeah, so overall, disappointing. This is the second time in a row. These movies were 3 years apart. Similar racism. What is up with Juanita, man?
I mean,
what was that? Like, I genuinely cannot tell if that was, hey, rich people would probably have a slave, so let's put, like, in Forrest Gump, Bubba's mom,
yeah,
like it feels like they're trying to say like rich people would have this,
right?
But there's no one going like this is excessive or this isn't good, this isn't whatever it might be, and there's no resolution. You can't tell if it's a joke or not. We're just laughing at what she says, and even what she says is kind of like, how long have you been at that house? How long have you been swooning over this guy? Cause
have you known him since he's a child? Because that
feels
becomes
like weird. That becomes weird. Now we have this nice character who, like, clearly knows this family well, does a good whatever the seriousness of it is. Is she grooming him? Like, what are we doing? Like, where's the joke? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah.
that whole thing could have been left out.
Yeah.
Or could have been like an Alfred Butler character.
Yeah, it could have been like the guy from Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, that would have, honestly, could have done the same jokes. Still wouldn't have been appropriate, but maybe there's less questions. I don't know. No, I don't think you could have done the same jokes. But I guess he never would have done Mr. Deeds if he did all those jokes before. Oh my gosh, he had 2 rich guy movies.
Yep.
And Mr. Deeds was a remake, and yet somehow...
Oh, it was. I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there was this one desire in my heart with this show to do, we'd pick an actor or a director, and we would just go through the catalog and just kind of go through it individually, and then at the end, whenever we were done with it, rate them all, like rank them, and it would be this whole big thing. And now after watching this movie, I'm like, man, I am glad we didn't do that, because if I would have... I like Adam Sandler. He seems like a nice guy. I question some things about him, but he seems okay. I could not get through more than like 3 of his movies in a row before going like, the world isn't that great. Maybe I should just...
It would be rough.
Like,
he's got a few. He's got a few that are like, hey, that's an actually...
He has a lot of good movies where he's not the main person in control, and they're good.
Yeah.
His control may be debatable of whether it's good or not.
I love that last week we were like, hey, maybe we should watch all the Jackie Chan movies. And then this week we're like, let's not watch all the Adam
Let's
Sandler
not do that.
movies.
Let's not. This is going to be regretful. Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening. I have been Mike.
And I am still Tristan.
And this has been Review Rewind. So from us to you, just avoid Adam Sandler movies. Don't rewind them. Just avoid. I have made a discovery of my life in this moment that I don't really know if I appreciate it or not. And I've walked away very sad. But you know what? We're going to keep going. And next week, our movie of the week is going to be Happy Gilmore. No, I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. But until next time, keep... Does anyone ever review? No. Everyone reviews. Anyone rewind anymore?
I mean, you can rewind if you want to go back to a scene.
Have you noticed that they make it like really hard to rewind? Like
that happened to
on
me.
the Apple TV, you have to like hold it.
Yeah, I kept starting the movie over when I was watching it because I kept hitting the restart button instead of the rewind. It was really annoying.
Yeah, with the Apple TV thing, you gotta like, if you just tap it, it doesn't hold anything. It just goes back a few seconds. But then if you hold it, it like stops for a second. It doesn't start rewinding.
Yeah.
And then if you want to rewind faster, you have to like hold and click again. But
or
if you do it
like,
wrong, it'll just
swipe
like,
on it.
It's a whole mess.
Or
Are you people still listening? Go away. God. All right, bye.